in this video, we're going to talk about the 30 ways to generate leads. 30, that's a lot. There are more, but I've picked the ones that I think you can actually use. Because you can be very you have to test marketing, remember, so not everything works. So but I've picked 30 that will probably work for you. If you can do them all, great. You'll do really well, but the more you do, the better, is what I'll say. So 30 ways to generate leads, taking steps towards your own independence, because obviously if you're marketing yourself and you've got good positioning and all the rest of it, then you should become independent, which is the whole purpose of the Trade Partner Program, is to help you do that by giving you the software, the tools, the design support, the marketing, the website stuff, all the rest of it. So there's lots of resource here to help you, and I hope that you'll use it. So the purpose of this presentation is to give you awareness on the amount of ways there are to generate leads and develop an awareness of what you could be doing. So I wouldn't advise you to go away and try all 30 at the same time, but I'd pick 2 and get them working, pick another 2, get them working, and work through it that way. And again, give you some ideas to implement into your business, because there's plenty of stuff here. So, there's loads to go out. Hopefully when you watch this video, you'll be more inspired to do so. So just a quick one on me. I'm Aaron Transfield, like I just said, KBB Supply Services. I've been in construction for 20 years, had my own business for 10 years. We're a multi-award winning installation business in our own right, working in contracts and retail. We're a 7-figure business and growing, 1,200 installations in 2022, with further growth in 2023. And I'm the founder of this KBB Supply Services with the vision to change the industry, which is that we think the industry's upside down. Profits get taken from us by the showrooms, the big distributors, all the rest of it, and leave us with installation work sometimes that doesn't pay as well as it should, and it can just be a bit messy at times. So our vision is to give 1-man band, 2-man, 3-man, 4-man band and beyond operations the tools and resources to become independent, so they don't have to depend on anybody else other than themselves. They can have a standalone business, offer their own product, use their own software, and that's what our Trade Partner Program is about. So if you're not already on, maybe have a think about that, unless you would like working for other people, but there's no reason to, really, and there's a lot more money to earn on your own, and that's what we want to encourage you to do and help you. So that's how we want to change the industry. So number 1 way to get I'm going to start with the obvious ones. Facebook posting. So people do go to Facebook quite a lot. Again, who's your target market? Not always is your target market on Facebook, but just updating your jobs on Facebook, job updates, just a quick, look at this job I'm starting. Here's the job in progress. Here's a job finished. It's dead simple stuff. Reviews, ask people to review you on Facebook. I'd use Google and other platforms first ahead of Facebook, but drop, the odd one onto Facebook every now and then. Some people will go there and look, and you want something there. And then customer feedback videos. So again, if you've got a good relationship with your customer, or the customer's there when you and you've got the confidence, and I know that video isn't for everybody, but it really should be, because it's so powerful. So get customer feedback. So if you're with a customer, what do you think, Mrs. Jones? And she's like, she's going, oh yeah, it's great, and all the rest of it. It just brings a bit of humor to the situation as well, and lightens the mood a little bit. So it's always good if you can get some customer feedback on there, or if you can sit them down and have a proper chat with them about stuff, then that's even better. But yeah, make sure that any content you put on your website goes onto Facebook. Facebook ads. So this is where you can spend money to have a structured approach to the Facebook platform, which is very powerful. So, we all know it listens to us. We know this stuff goes on, and, it'll help you. So that's all I can say. When you put your ads out there, they can work really well if they're done right. So you can use targeted ads. Lead forms is a good one. So that's where you'll target a certain audience. You'll have a certain message with a video or images, and then there'll be a lead form that people put the details into. Some of you may have found us through a lead form. It works really well. But boosting posts is amateur. If you just put posts out there and you're putting money to them to boost them, you're wasting your money. That is not the way forward. If you need help with your Facebook ads, we can help you with that. You just need to get in touch, just email us or call us. But don't be boosting it, well, unless you're seeing results from it. But very, very few people do. And, Facebook is just boosting a post is just giving Facebook a license to print money and print it from you. So, the targeting on boosting is not good enough really to take it as a serious way of using Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a whole different platform. You do need to have a bit of knowledge to use it, preferably, so speaking to someone who knows what they're doing is always going to be better. It might cost you to get someone to manage it, but they'll do it quicker than you and they'll do it better than you. So, as always, so I'd have a really hard think about Facebook ads if you want to grow. Instagram, again, it's usually linked to Facebook, so it's just copying and pasting across. And again, you're using hashtags on Instagram and on Facebook. So search the hashtags. There's loads of tools online you can use to find out what hashtags are going to get you some traction. Using reels and stories will help you find new people and get them liking your page. And then again, so if you've got an audience on those platforms and you've done a blog or something like that, you can post about your blog on the platform, put a link to the blog in the comments and send them back to your website, and that starts generating traffic back to your website. If you're clever, you'll use remarketing, which we'll come on to shortly, where that'll basically track anyone who's been on your website and then send them a different ad on Facebook. But posting about stuff that's on your website and putting it on your social media to bring them into your website and then follow them up with ads is a really clever strategy that works really well. Again, if you need help with that, we can help with that. Just give us a shout. TikTok, again, this is probably a wider strategy at the moment because we don't quite know where that one's going to go, but some people are getting quite a lot of attention on there, and I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't say it's going to be a primary source of bringing people in who want to spend 10, 15 grand on a kitchen, but it's something that if you're doing social media, you might as well do this, because in 5 years' time, we've all seen how the digital landscape changes very quickly. So TikTok might just be up there in a few years. I think they're starting to do ads as well now, TikTok. So, it is gonna gather more speed, and the longer you've been there, the better. So you might as well do some stuff on there as well. Cross-selling. So partnering with other local trades and bounce off each other. I mean, I've seen people do this and it works quite well. So you might have, a Spark, a Plasterer, a Tiler, people that you trust, and you think, yeah, I'll be happy recommending these people. Well, for very little money, you could sort of create your own, mini sort of referral between the 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. There might be more, but like a local leaflet that's got all of your details on, and you basically say, we all promote each other, we all trust each other, and here we go. And what would happen is you would all give that leaflet out when you're at each other's jobs, so you all just refer each other all the time, basically. And everyone has the leaflet, and it does work. This I've seen people do it and have success with it, and yeah, it's helped them grow as well, weirdly, because they just get connected to more people quicker. You will grow. Your network is important, so keeping these people tight, and especially if you're looking to grow, you're going to want times where you need digging out, and the closer you are to people, the better, because they'll do more for you. So cross-selling is a great one. Cross-sell to other people, get them to cross-sell back to you. A joint leaflet's a great idea. Something that I'd highly recommend, but I understand that, it's something that you're going to have to drive. You're going to have to get these people together and go, look, what do you think about this? But if you can get that moving, it will work. It will definitely work for you. Text and SMS. So SMS platforms are brilliant. Email open rates are relatively low. SMS open rates are really high. So any new customers that are coming in, leads that you're getting from your ads or whatever, following them up with SMS is a really good idea. So this could be something simple like, thanks for inquiring. So this can be part of your process to nurture a new lead while it's in your system. Getting data for SMS and sending them out cold, I probably wouldn't use. But these would also work well for people. So if you've got records of the last 2 years, even 5 years, send them a message, get it into a piece of software, remind them that you're there, because people move house, people move, and they go to a new house and they think, oh yeah, I should have thought of you, but they forgot about you. And if you just remind them, SMS is a really good thing to do. Remember, you can use these for people's birthdays as well. Again, this just brings past customers closer to you. And again, we're not always trying to get the past customers to buy a new kitchen or whatever it is. We're not trying to sell them something at this point. What we're also trying to do is build a relationship or keep a relationship with them. So when they say, like you did the kitchen 2 years ago, and they get a reminder, but their friend might now be looking for a kitchen, and they're going to see this message. Emails obviously hit or miss, but they will see this message, and you might have a referral campaign for text message, which is really powerful. I mean, we all, well, I do get them from like EE and things like that. They're just promoting stuff, and you always see it because you always open it. And it is a powerful thing. So referrals are great on text message. So tell them about, you might have an offer on, or, something. You just think of offers, don't you? I mean, as long as you're getting in front of people, you can sometimes just make it up as you go along. But, telling them, you're specializing in this type of kitchen at the moment. You've got, you might want to tell them about your paint to order service where you can do any color or something like that. You just want to spark a bit of interest, and SMS is a great way to do it. And referrals, asking for referrals on SMS is a great way of getting new customers. Leaflets, so posted through doors. Obviously, you can pay companies. You're usually looking $1,000, £1,500, but a lot of people that I know use leaflets very successfully. And usually hear good things about leaflets. Obviously sometimes you hear bad things, but that's sometimes you think, because one, was it a crap leaflet? Just a leaflet does not work. A good leaflet works. So there's a difference. Don't just think, oh, I'll get any crap designed and stick it through all the doors. Oh, that didn't work. Well, it won't if it's crap. So a good design leaflet. Again, if you need help with leaflets, we can help with that. And then leave your leaflets behind. So when you've been to see a customer, leave them a handful of leaflets and say, if you know anyone, give them one of these leaflets. And again, that's worked for us quite a lot. We've been to people's houses before where we've noticed a leaflet on the side, and we haven't delivered that leaflet to them, but we know that we've left leaflets all over the show. When we've asked them, they go, oh yeah, so-and-so give it me, and da-da-da. And if these are 10, 15 grand jobs, I mean, you only need 2 people in a year to do that, and you've got an extra 30k, roughly of work, or, whatever your kitchens might be worth. But, it's not something that you should ignore. For the cost of a few £100 to get them designed and printed, it's a big return. Neighborhood cards. So these are like leaflets, but neighborhood cards. So when you go to a survey, you're going to go to a house or quote, whatever you call it. The 10 houses around that house, I would put a neighborhood card through, which basically tells them you're in the area. This is what you do. Now, we're not trying to sell them. It's not like a leaflet. I mean, you can stick a leaflet through as well with the card. I don't see the harm in doing that, but I would just go with the neighborhood card. And basically what the neighborhood card is just like this one here. This is an example. So let me just move my head out of the way. So the neighborhood card is like this. So it says, hello, you might have seen our van in the street. We're working at Jess and Dave's at number 7. Feel free to pop in if you have any questions about anything electrical, no matter how big or small, or call this number. And I think this company put it as a magnet, so they, stick it to the fridge. So, here's your local electrician's number, which is a great idea, because local electricians are always needed. And for this company, it worked quite well. But again, there's nothing wrong with using the same strategy, practically the same card for your kitchens, because kitchens are a big thing, and people are always looking for a good kitchen fitter, and at some point everyone's going to buy the next kitchen. So the more, if you're doing 3, 4, 5 surveys a week, and while you're there, or while whoever's there doing the survey for you, you've dropped this card in 10 houses, 15, then you've got 50, 60 houses a week getting these dropped in for not a lot of effort. So I would definitely look at doing that. Referrals, as we've said, it's a way of getting leads, it's a way of getting new work. Leave your leaflets with customers, offer them a reward for referring people to you. So the reason why this is a way of getting leads, because a referral is an offer to the customer to say, look, if you refer me and it goes ahead, I'll give you 250 quid. So you might have a separate leaflet that says, right here, if you get me a job, I'll give you an Amazon voucher for 200 quid, or something that incentivizes people to recommend you. That's why referrals is its own thing, because it's the thinking behind the referral that's important, not the fact that I've mentioned leaflets, but the leaflet is just the thing you're giving them, and offer a reward for them recommending your services. Magazines. So who's your target market? Is it generally older people? Is it families? Is it professionals? Is it this, that? Where are your type of customer reading? Are they reading local press? Obviously, you won't know, but what sorts of magazines are they reading? Magazines ads can be quite cheap, depending on which one you're obviously going. But something local, obviously, you don't want to be national. You want to be something local that's local to you. Again, it's hard to be specific with this because there's so many different areas of the country. I don't want to throw something in that's going to confuse you, but just think local. Think in the next, local magazines. Search them and think, right, would that be something that my customers read? You might find stuff in there. Even school magazines, things like that. Like where they have like these local directories and stuff like that. There will be something. You just need to go and find it. So newspaper ads as well. So retired people with money still read the local press. And again, the cost of that advertising is not as big as it was, because obviously it's dwindling. But if you've got a target market of 50 plus, which most of our target markets usually are sort of 45, 50 upwards, because they're the people that have got cash. That's what I find anyway. But again, it might be different in your area of the country. But local newspaper ads are really powerful. You can get a decent sized ad sometimes for not a lot of money, and that'll run for a month or two. And again, you have to test these things. So, try a magazine, see what you get. Newspaper ads, see what you get. You have to see what works. Some things will work really well, some things just don't work at all. But it's up to you to decide which ones are best for you. Website, blogs, and downloads. So developing a local brand. For this one, I'm just going to point you back to the video in the hub that's about websites. And obviously we've got the blogging, cost of living, and the creating your perfect online profile. There's 3 videos there that I'm recommending you go and watch, which is about this subject. So downloads would be like useful downloads. Something you can put on your website that people can download that's useful, like how to design your kitchen. You might do like a useful download for the customer. So when they land on your website, how to design your own kitchen, they download it, leave their email address, then you've got the details to obviously get in touch with them or market to them. So go and watch those videos, because they will cover this in much more detail. Remarketing, like I've said before, when you've got your Facebook and your Google running, when you get traffic to your website, you can do remarketing. So you'll find when you've been on a website, you'll see ads about that website, because what the search engines or the internet has done is recognize you've been on this website, so you're interested in this thing. So now Facebook has picked you up, and now it's going to show you these ads. And that's why the blogging, getting people to blogging on your website, posting it on your social media, and then backlinking it to your website. If you've got remarketing set up in Google and Facebook, once they've come off social media and gone back to your website, it'll pick them up there, and then it'll start showing them ads. So then you'd write a separate ad that's around your business, and that's how remarketing works. It's, you don't quite know who you're marketing to, but if your marketing is done right, it'll be people that are interested in the thing that you've wrote about in your blog, or the thing that they've landed on your website to read that they found interesting. So it will, if your marketing is done right, it will be the sorts of people that you want. And we get a lot of clicks from remarketing, loads. I mean, I was really shocked when we did it, because I wasn't convinced at first about this, and when we did it, it worked really well. And I'd implement this when you've got a good website with blogging and all that, because you don't want to be poking people to a crappy website and then wasting money on them, remarketing to them when they're probably not interested anyway. Because if they've been on your website, it's one thing, but if your website's rubbish or it's not got the right stuff on there, then there's no point in remarketing to them, in my opinion, because you're just going to be wasting cash on them. And even if they do click back to come back to your website, the chances of them converting are probably low. I'm not saying you won't get any conversion, but you just need, I would only recommend doing this when you're in a good position in terms of digital website blogging. You've got a lot of other stuff going on. Then when you've got traffic going to your website and you can see it through Google Analytics, that's when you switch on remarketing, because then there's traffic there. Banner ads. This is similar to remarketing. So obviously it's the same thing, but remarketing ads and banner ads are different. So the remarketing is like practically ads, but banners is the things that you see around websites, like the bars and the side bits, and the little sort of adverts that pop up. Again, that's the same thing. It targets people that have been on your website, and it works exactly the same as remarketing. It just depends where they are. So Facebook will do remarketing here, Google will do remarketing through the banners and sort of Gmail ads, YouTube ads, all that type of stuff. But again, this is only something you do when you've got a good website with good traffic, and it's worth spending the money on this. It's not a big spend, this, by the way. Remarketing is cheap at the moment, but I still wouldn't waste my money on it until I've got other things sorted. Video. So video is a very, very, very powerful thing, like unbelievably powerful. So on your website, you should have a video on your About Us page, a video on your landing page, a video on your home page, maybe a video about pricing, your customer journey. There's a number of videos that we would recommend that you have on your website, and I'll do a separate video in the hub about those. But it's really powerful video, because if it's you on the video, which it should be, then once you've got people spending time watching your videos, they're actually spending time with you. Like psychologically, it works really powerful, because they feel like they know you, they feel like they're getting to know you. And if you're spending more time with the customer because they're watching your videos, you may only see them for half an hour to an hour on the initial survey, but if they then watch 2 hours of your video, they've spent 3 hours with you, because their head and all our heads are the same. Video, we feel like we know people because we're watching them like this. You'll watch 5, 6, 7 of my videos and think, you know me. And that's how it works, because psychologically it gets us thinking that. And when you do know that person, because you're seeing how they think and work, and you're deciding if you like them or not. And that's important. So if you're coming across right in your videos, and people are liking it, they're going to really be so much higher probability in saying to you, I want you to do my job. And if you're 2 or 3 grand more, if they trust you more, it doesn't matter. They'll just go with you. And again, we've talked about that loads in the videos in the hub. The trust is everything. And videos are a massive part of that. Videos, since we introduced videos into our business in the marketing process, it's been revolutionary. I cannot tell you how important it is. It is the difference between, in marketing terms, it's the difference between men and boys. If you can get video in there and really make a big deal out of it, you will do very, very well. Very well. So again, I've said the videos, what I do is about us, customer journey, why choose us, landing page, sales promotion video, and customer video testimonial if you can get one of them. Social media videos or job updates, what your team are up to, your customers, all the rest of it. Just the more content you can do, the better. And just start doing it. Don't overthink it. Oh, I can't do video. If you're not willing to break that, mind trash reason why you won't do it, I don't really know how to say this, but it's not really optional. If you don't go there completely, then and you just stay away from it altogether, you won't do as well as you can do, basically, and you won't do as well as other people that are doing it. And the thing is, in our space, our industry, not a lot of people are doing it. So, there's a huge opportunity if you can get a grip of it in your local area and just break the mold. You'll probably be very surprised, because there's not many kitchen fitters putting themselves out there on video that that customers are seeing. So, why wouldn't you? And it just has to start simple. Just do dead simple stuff. Start on social media, a bit of messing around. Doesn't matter. No one's bothered. The ones on your website, still no one's bothered. The videos don't have to be perfect. I mean, the videos we have in the hub are not perfect at all. But what's in them is important, and the audience like it because it's useful and it's good for them to watch it. So even if there is the odd thing that's not quite right, people forgive that. They're not bothered. In fact, sometimes when it's not perfect, it's better, because you don't want something that's overproduced that just looks American salesy. You just want it to be you. People get to know you, and that's what's going to help you sell. So just on the video stuff, so I'll just shift me down here. So again, just to reiterate the importance of video. So why marketers use video, the top one. So 85% say video is effective at grabbing attention online. 88% say the video provides a positive return on investment. 43% say video results in fewer support calls. So again, this is linking into your blogs. If you're doing videos with your blogs, customers will ask you less questions if there's more answers on your website. And if you're using video to get knowledge and stuff into people, especially in your customer journey by using video, then you'll find people ask fewer questions, and that's a good thing, because no one likes answering the same question over and over again. So 87% say video increases website traffic massively, because again, if you're using blogs and you've got videos on your website and they're on YouTube, 87% say increases traffic to the website. So you cannot ignore this. You can't ignore it. And then we've got trends on people, how many hours they watch videos. So obviously we started at 10 hours a week in 2018, and in only 4 years we've gone to 19, and it's just ridiculous. So and that's time that you're not looking to become a YouTube sensation. What you're looking to do is be important to the right person at the right time. And while someone's in that moment, don't forget, these people who are looking for kitchens, they stay in that moment of, right, I need to find a kitchen fitter and I need to get a kitchen done. They're in that mode for a week, 2 weeks, a month. I know it's sometimes longer, but let's just say they're making a buying decision. They're only in that mode for a certain amount of time. So you just need to be famous to them in that window. And if they're seeing your video and they think, right, he's the man, once they've made the decision to buy with you, they're not going to keep watching other people's videos, because what's the point? They've made the decision at that point. So you just need to be famous to that person at that moment in time, and then they decide to buy with you, and video will massively help you get there. So how important is video to your marketing strategy? This was a poll to marketers. 29% extremely important, 31% very important, 25% moderately important. But that is the vast majority of people who are doing marketing. You're seeing there 80% saying it's important, from moderately to extremely, and the vast 60% are saying it's very or extremely important. So I hope you get the message on that one, and I hope that you do something with it and get video part of your strategy. Right, let's move on. Spent a long time on that, but it was worthwhile. Local radio can work an absolute treat, but we use tracking numbers. Um, so you wouldn't, if you're going to do ads, I think we've got tracking numbers a bit later on in this, but tracking numbers, basically, you'd put different numbers everywhere. So a different number on your website, different number on your van, different number on your leaflets, different number on your radio ad if you did radio. You'd put different phone numbers everywhere. So this is dead easy to set up. You just go online, search tracking numbers. They'll give you a number. Well, I think you give them a number or they give you a number. You can divert as well. So if you've already got a number, don't worry about that. But again, this is something that's useful because if you're taking calls into your business, then you want to know what's driving those calls. Was that number on my van? Was it on the leaflet? Was it on the website? Was it, where was that number? Now, if you're tracking those numbers, you'll be able to see where they're coming from. But again, radio is good. Local radio can be not that expensive. If you're in a city, there's city radio stations, local ones that, it might cost a bit, but it just depends on what you're willing to spend and how big your ambitions are. If you want to grow a lot, then radio is huge. Can be, especially to the older generations that are still listening to it, who, again, they've got the money, so they should be part of your strategy in terms of the types of customers that you're going after, in my opinion anyway, because that's what we do. Google search, Google AdWords changed my life, literally, but you need to have patience. So AdWords, I should have really put AdWords in there instead of Google search, but it's the same thing. So the Google AdWords platform is powerful. Back when we started, we were doing labor-only work for a good 2 or 3 years, and then it was only when I got fed up of that quickly, because of of all the things that are wrong with the industry. I wanted to set my own brand up, and the 2 skills I realised I needed to develop quickly were build my own website and drive traffic to it. So that's what I did. And Google AdWords obviously was the traffic driver that I used. We didn't do any social media at that point. This was 2014. And they literally, from that moment, that's where the switch went, because then we were becoming our own brand. We were marketing ourselves. The Google AdWords is very powerful, so it's something I would use. It's something I'd get help using to start with. You can speak to us about that. We do help people with it, but we only do a certain amount of people in each area. So get in touch soon if you want to do it, because we don't have loads of slots. Just because if we have too many people in each area, it doesn't work. Well, it will work, but obviously we will just be fighting against each other. So we'll only work with a small number of people in each area. But Google AdWords did change my life. But again, you need patience with it as well, because you need to build up, negative keywords, because you'll start showing and getting clicks and stuff, and you're thinking, why am I paying for that click? But you have to go through that pain, unfortunately. There isn't an easy way to bypass it. The only thing I will say is that the people that we help, we use a lot of the data from our own AdWords campaigns. We will import into their software, into their Google AdWords, which does help. It just moves things on a bit quicker. But again, you still have to have patience, because locally, regionally, search terms will change, costs will change. So it is a piece of work, Google. It isn't simple. That's why you need to get help to at least understand it. If you're going to do it yourself, get someone to help you for the first 6 months and then run with it if you want. But you're better off having it managed by a proper expert as well. There are lots of people out there charging for this that are not doing a good job. So again, we can do it for you, and we have a way of tracking it all, so it's it's all done right. But there's a lot of people out there that are taking the mickey, so just be careful with that one. You can have a go at it yourself. It's not something I would say not to do, but again, you just got to have patience with it. It's an animal piece of software, this, and unless you've got plenty of hours to sit learning it, it's it will be difficult, and you will make many mistakes, and you will probably spend a lot more than you wanted to, because you've done something wrong. So that's Google search. Online profiles, rated people, checker trade, these types of things. Great way of bringing leads in. We used these for a number of years before we switched them off because we were getting enough leads for our own website. But again, when we transitioned from labor only to our own work, online profiles were part of that. So we transitioned from, working for the sheds. Then we had our own website. Then we used the online profiles as well. And then eventually we'd come off the online profiles because we didn't need them anymore. But if you're not with your own website and marketing isn't quite there yet, then they're a great way. I'd highly, highly recommend. Use the right one. I can't tell you which one to use, but some have better reps than others. So you just have to decide what's the best one for you. eBay listings might seem like a mad one, but if you're selling kitchens and you put a kitchen on there locally, you will get people inquiring that are local to you, and usually there's a conversation to have around what it is you're selling. It might just be some products, it might just be a few kitchen units. You might sell a package on there, have all this kitchen for $5,000, but really you have to go and do a survey in it. It's never $5,000, but it's a way of getting leads, and a lot of people do this with a lot of success. So you only got to go on eBay to have a look how many people are doing it. But again, you'd look at the eBay listing as an ad. You'd write it properly. You'd make sure that it's got the things on there that are important to your customer, and it's an opportunity. It doesn't matter that it's eBay. The point is you've got customers' eyes on your stuff. Make the most of it. It's cheap. Gumtree, exactly the same. Won't elaborate on that, but again, same as eBay. Do the same thing on there. Merchandise, so your pens, key rings, etc. Do get left lying around. People will spot it. It's a great way of reminding people again, because this is brand awareness. It's not going to be, I found this pen, I'll ring this guy. Yeah, I know that is sort of how it works, but this is more just reminding people that you're there. And someone uses a pen and all the rest of it. It's just this brand awareness thing, and it's definitely worth having because it just makes you look like a proper business as well. And again, the pen itself probably won't bring a lead, but the fact that they've seen your brand in more than one place, merchandise can help with that. Again, it's not one of the things at the top of the list. It's definitely more towards the bottom and it's more when you've got money to spend on this sort of stuff. But when you can leave your customers with a couple of mugs and a couple of pens at the end of a job and, a bit of a gift box, that's the place you want to get to. And merchandise in there would be very, very useful. Branded clothing. If you do this right, please, if you're going to do it, not massive words on your back or bright colours. It just looks cheap, and getting a professional logo, good quality and clean clothing will get you noticed for the right reasons. When we all see workmen or tradespeople, and when they're dressed smart in good branded clothing, we always say, yeah, that looks good. They really, really made an effort, and it looks the dogs. But when you see people with like bright pink, letters on the back and a phone number, and you just think, really? Is that your brand? Is that what it's about? Because that's not. It's going to do the opposite. You might as well put on your back in pink letters, "Do not ring me," and then put your number underneath, because no one's ringing. And if they do, they're probably not going to be the type of customer you want to work for. So if you're going to do branded clothing, please do it properly. Get it done professionally. Logos, the rest of it. Again, if you need a logo, we can do that for you. But just make sure it's not. You don't cheapen it. You're going to spend money on printing clothes and stuff. Don't make it look cheap, because it won't cost much more to make it look good. Networking. So you may have heard of BNI. So there'll be a local BNI group, and usually the trades people do really well. I was in one a few years ago. Again, I stopped doing that after a while because I didn't need to do it anymore. But this was definitely something that helped me grow my business. And the trades always do well out of these groups as well. You'd have to inquire and see if they've got a seat for a kitchen fitter, but generally they have. Sometimes it's already taken, but just put your name down, because people leave, some people come and go, people retire, people die. There's all sorts of reasons in these groups why people come and go. So I wouldn't be put off if the seat's already taken. I'd probably just wait, or just go look at a different networking group. There's going to be loads of stuff like this, and you just need to look for it. And they're usually quite early on in the morning, so you can not have it interrupt your day too much. But you'll meet some good people at these places as well, that will connect you with other people. And, everyone really usually does quite well out of networking. Do it right. It does take a bit of effort. Sometimes it can bring you out your comfort zone as well if it's not really something you want to do. But again, if you want to grow our businesses, I didn't particularly enjoy networking, if I'm honest. But I was growing my business and I was willing to do what it took to grow it. So, if you're looking to do the same, I'd definitely look at networking. PR. So again, this is more when you sort of on your way now and you really sort of getting motoring on with your business. But if you want to, grow even further, getting an expert to raise your local profile can be a good thing. There's publications, press releases and stuff that you can get your name mentioned in, local papers, regional papers. You can sometimes become like someone that they come to for comments on things. And, even if not as a kitchen fitter, but just a tradesperson, you'd be surprised what you can get from PR. Like I said, be prepared, because it can thrust you sometimes. It's happened with people where they've done this and then been thrust into, they've had local news say, "Oh, can you come down and do something like this?" And I know this sounds really mad because of kitchen fitters, but I have seen this happen. And it's weird because then you just get loads of coverage then. But you can get good press, basically. So local press, start small, and again, this is just something if you really wanted to do it. It's not something I'd say go and do now. If you've not got a website, you're not done all the basic stuff, do not even think about this. But if you've got all that stuff in, you think, do you know what? Something else here might just push me to the next level. This could help. Getting awards as well. So if you've got some local awards and, entering yourself in competitions for, trade shows or, stuff like that, just to get awards under your belt. There's lots of things out there you can do, and PR would help push the fact that you've won this award into the public domain, which again positions you up here. If you've been in the local paper for any random reason whatsoever, and then the customer knows you've been in the local paper, naturally your positioning's gone up. And this is that thing again about positioning yourself higher up, higher rewards for being higher up the table of positioning. And PR can be very, very useful in doing that if done the right way. But again, I wouldn't worry about that. Early days, when you're more advanced, I'd definitely look at it. LinkedIn, so connecting with local developers and trades alike that you can partner with and get referrals from is certainly not a waste of time, because it's about building relationships. Similar to networking, exactly the same thing here. You're looking to connect with people, have a conversation, go and meet people. I go meet other bathroom and kitchen companies that are similar to us outside of our area. Just say hello, just how's it going? You'll learn stuff from these people, and it's good to just connect with people that aren't a threat, but are like-minded, and you can learn stuff from. So there's value in doing that. People in your own industry, then you've got people that are developers and who might have 10, 15 houses a year where they want a kitchen done. So, it's good to connect, and LinkedIn's great for that. And keeping, post your stuff on LinkedIn as well, about your jobs and whatnot. You'd be surprised what you'll get out of LinkedIn. We've had some big stuff out of LinkedIn, big stuff, just by being there. And just because people knew that this is what we do, we get recommended for all sorts. But I'm telling you, to us, it's been worth a few million over the last 6 years. And again, it's just because people send you a message. Do you want to have a look at this? I've seen you do that. I'm looking for that. I'll have a conversation, have a meeting, and we've had a lot of stuff out of it. And we've not even tried. We're just there. We've just been there, and we've just put ourselves out there a little bit. And yeah, I'd highly recommend that. I really would. Sponsorship, so local teams, billboards, car wash ads, roundabout ads. This is like your local branding now, where you can sponsor something in the local area that will help get your brand noticed. All those things I've noticed, I've noted there, and it's not everything you could do, but they're the obvious ones where you're going to get a lot of eyes on your ad. And again, it's just about brand awareness. And this stuff, it's hard to measure. Obviously car wash ad isn't, because you could put a tracking number on it and stuff like that. But, again, this is probably when you're a bit more advanced in your marketing and you're thinking, no, actually, I want to push my brand out just that little bit more and just get a little bit more local recognition for what we're doing. And, it's not something that it's not something I'd put early on in your strategy, but I would definitely think about it when you've got the cash to do it, because these things won't be, sponsoring a local team probably costs you $1,000 or $2. Billboard, God knows, it depends where around the country. Car wash ads, a few £100 a year. Roundabout ads, a few £100 a year. But again, they're all things that done right can help. A-frames. So outside each job, how long you on a job for? A week. How many people walk past that job? Many of them. So that's a missed opportunity. If your van isn't sign written, it should be. A-frame should be outside the job. So a board that's got your name on it and it's got a holder on it for leaflets. So I'd put some leaflets on there. Use QR codes as well. We'll come on to that in a moment. So if someone's walking past, everyone uses QR codes now, ordering on tables in restaurants and all the rest of it. Everyone's becoming really familiar with QR codes now. Not like it was a few years ago when it first launched and no one could be bothered. Now everyone's straight on it. So if you had an A-frame outside the job that had your company name on it, your telephone number, and you could have book a survey here, which could be a QR code that can link through to your website, where they can then book online if you've got the right sort of website, which again, the websites we do for people, the QR code can take them straight to booking a survey, so they can literally book in your diary. So if someone's walking past that house and they go, that billboard looks nice, and they can see there's a kitchen going on inside, might be a skip on the drive, all the rest of it, saw outside, whatever's going on there. And they see you maybe with your branded stuff, your branded van, think, oh, that looks good, I need a new kitchen, or I know someone, boom, straight on it. You don't even need to say, oh, I'll give you a card, love, A-frames there, QR code, scan the QR code and it'll take you to the website, you can book on there, done. I mean, they're impressed already. And do you know what I mean? This stuff is powerful. And we have QR codes on our vans. And again, we track the QR codes so you can track them. You can see how that QR code has performed, and the QR code on our van that we have local to this area has had a number of people book surveys from it just because they've been sat next to it at the traffic lights or seen it on the road and they've gone, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. So it's definitely worthwhile having it on your A-frame, but the A-frame is really important. And again, I've just mentioned QR codes because we're talking about the A-frame, but again, put them everywhere, put them on your leaflets, put them on your van, put them on your A-frame outside, and link them to a page on your website that's relevant. So I usually a booking page. So if someone's seen the van, they know what you do. So you got to think about where the customer's at this point. They know what they want. They know what you do. The next step, have a sign that says, book a survey with me here, use the QR code. And then they should be able to just book. Just put them everywhere, have no shame. Put them absolutely everywhere. Tracking numbers. I mentioned tracking numbers earlier because we can put them anywhere. We can track anything. So leaflets, website, van, all pieces of marketing. Again, I've use them everywhere as well because you want to just have a different tracking number on all pieces of marketing, so you know what's working and what's not. So if you're spending money on a car wash ad, for instance, and you think, well, I paid £500 for that last year and it didn't drive any phone calls, it doesn't mean that people didn't go to the website though from it. So that's why it's sometimes hard to manage. So tracking numbers is good for phones, but if that same piece of marketing had the website URL on it and a QR code, they might have used that. So it's tricky, but the tracking numbers will at least give you some data on if the phone is working on that piece of marketing and where it's coming from. Tracking numbers were very, very powerful a few years ago. They still are now, don't get me wrong. But again, because we're now into different technologies, it is, you got to be careful before you remove something. So if you go, right, that piece of marketing, that car wash ad's not working because no one's ringing, you don't really know that, do you? So you need to be careful. What I'd probably do is look at that car wash and go, well, how many have we had that are local to that car wash? Because generally people will be using it that live in that area. So, there are different ways, but tracking numbers is a really powerful tool. Email. So having automated emails set up from your website. So if you've got like a Calendly set up on your website, sending people emails to remind them things, when they booked a survey with you after the survey, so you can do like a campaign. And again, I'm putting that in there as a way of generating customers, because it will help the current customers convert. And once you've got your leads and people that have already had jobs done from you, you've got their details. So even if people haven't bought this time, keeping in touch with them, sending them a weekly email about, what you've been up to, what's new in the industry, or however you would think. It's just a great way of keeping people alive. So and the thing is as well, if you've sent someone a quote and they haven't bought yet, they might buy 6 months later, 9 months, 12 months. We have people come back to us after sometimes a year, and you're like, I can't even remember them, but emails just kept them warm. They've just been hearing from you every now and then, and it's when the time came back round for them to buy, they've been aware of you because you've stayed in touch. So email is very good. And if you can get lists of people like from Facebook and all the rest of it through lead forms, who maybe not have inquired with you yet, or you've struggled to get hold of them, obviously sticking them in an email campaign will help. Again, none of these things I've talked about are a silver bullet. And the main thing is as well, one I probably didn't mention, well I did, but it's with the A-frames, was van signage. Make sure your vans are sign written professionally and it looks good, and you're using QR codes, phone numbers, reviews. Try and get a review on your van and things like that. But like I said, none of these things are silver bullets. We need to do a number of them to generate a whole sort of perception of your business. So you're right, okay, your clothing, van, A-frames alone is a good perception physically, and leaflets and stuff like that. You look organized, you look smart, all the rest of it. And then digitally, your website, your blogging, if you can complete that real world, digital world bit in between, and you can stitch all this together, you'll grow a really good business. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So, right, I'll leave it there. That's 30 ways to generate leads or, get work. So keep checking back to the hub. We'll keep things updated in here. If you need any help with anything that you've seen in this video, or you're not sure about something, just email us, trade@kvbspyservices.co.uk. One of us will get back to you, but we'll see you soon. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.